3, 2, 1. Episode 21 of
21.
White Claw Wednesday.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Cheers, Frank. If I can ever get these open.
Ooh, there we go.
Right here.
Looking forward to this. Ooh, that was a
Oh,
nice
dude.
spray. You had some spray on the mic right there.
Cheers. Let me get that.
That was a really good sip.
So, first episode, post guest. You guys
Post-guest.
loved it. We're definitely going to have more guests on. Yeah.
We had
a lot of fun. Yeah. Sam was awesome for sure.
It was cool because it was just, you worry about if things are going to go smoothly.
Yeah.
And things went very smoothly. Sam was a great guest.
From, our producer's standpoint, as well as our, I guess, I don't know, I was going to say actors, but we're like the creators as well.
Yeah.
You want it to be fun and exciting. And Sam's just a cool guy, and we both know him and have history with him. So it was just felt natural. Yeah. And that's sort of the goal for all of our guests is, we don't want it to be like an interview or something like that. We want it to just be, free flowing and chill time, just like a regular White Claw Wednesday.
Yeah, exactly. So, anything going on with you?
Dude, I've got plenty of things to talk about this week.
Well, I just quickly want to throw out before we dive in. I just want on the brighter side of things. HBO Max, the new streaming service from HBO, came out today. And May 27th, I should say. May 27th, the release date. And so it's been out for a week now. You're listening to this. And it's really good so far. I mean, I've only been using it for a day, but it's got a lot of stuff on it. And it's got Cartoon Network shows.
They own Cartoon Network? I didn't know that.
Yeah, they bought a bunch of stuff to just add. Because basically, if you had an HBO account, you already knew about HBO shows,
Go, right? HBO
Go, HBO Now.
Okay.
You already knew about the shows and then the different movies that they would have on at certain times. They just added in a bunch of properties, so they have everything DC.
Dude,
I've been watching Teen Titans.
They don't have Flash, though.
The original Teen Titans.
They don't have Flash.
There's still a deal with Netflix going on. So pretty much the shows that you don't see or the things you don't see it's because there's some existing deal going on that lands it somewhere else. But they have all the Batman movies, like the two Michael Keaton ones and the Val Kilmer one and the George Clooney one, and they have the original Teen Titans show, and they have basically every single Batman animated movie you can think of.
Great cartoon show, by the way.
Yeah, and then they have
that and Avatar.
Yeah, and then they have Cartoon Network, and then they have Adult Swim, and then they have Crunchyroll, which is the anime thing.
Oh, yeah.
They have TCM, which is Turner Classic Movies for all the snobs. I'm just kidding.
I didn't get that reference.
It was just film snobs liking old movies that normal people wouldn't like.
I see.
And then they have all 8 Harry Potter films. Which is cool. Which is a cool little thing.
Dude, binge.
Yeah, so they got a lot of stuff on there, and they have Friends. Their HBO Max is now the place to stream Friends, because they spent dude, I think they spent
money.
Something like
big money.
I think it was like 200 or 300 million to get Friends. Something ridiculous, some bonkers. You're like, wait, what? You're just wait, hold up. How popular is that show? It's funny. I'm not gonna watch it for Friends, but it's just a great example. And they have South Park too. South Park hasn't officially because it's still on certain stream. But by the end of June, South Park will be exclusively streamed on HBO Max. I'm pretty sure. And then they're also bringing back to life the Boondocks. That's a famous Adult Swim cartoon. So yeah, and then there's HBO Max original shows too.
That's what the black kid, right?
Yeah,
it's the main animated character.
It's the kid with the afro. It's the black family. It's and it's I've never watched it before, but I hear it's very funny.
I've seen a couple episodes. Yeah.
I hear it's very funny.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
And let's see, and then the Snyder Cut is coming too. Yeah. Yeah. So a lot of stuff to look forward to.
Dude, it's crazy how the future is literally these streaming services. Yeah. And it's it's just crazy to me because, you grow up on TV and you're flipping through the channels on TV and stuff. And it's like, oh, did you get this channel? Do you have this channel? The future's going to be like, oh, do you have this service? Do you have this? Do you have HBO? Netflix, Hulu. What do you have? It reminds me of the scene where in The Office where Michael is taking all the girls in the office to Victoria's Secret. Well, he takes them to the mall, walks by Victoria's Secret, gets super excited, and he's like, you know what? I'm going to buy one thing for all of you. And he's sitting with Angela, and he's like...
He's naming everything that she could pick out.
He goes, I would love to buy you a piece of underwear. Or he says something like that.
I would love to buy you a pair of panties.
Yeah, yeah. And he just starts naming all these different type of like panties and lingerie. And I don't know why that popped in my head right now, but it would be like that. It'd be like Hulu, Netflix, Amazon, HBO. Apple Plus,
Disney.
Like,
yeah, you're just
like what do you have? What do you have?
What? Yeah, it's a lot of stuff. So you just gotta, you gotta pick where you want. You gotta pick what you want.
What sucks about it is there's gonna be really good stuff on every streaming service. Every streaming service is gonna be known for like one or like two major things at least. And then there'll be like Netflix, which is like the king right now, which will have like plenty of stuff that's great. But I was thinking today, dude, that Netflix, since everything's going on Disney Plus for Marvel, I was gonna say that Netflix should, get like a DC deal or something where like all their stuff is gonna be on.
Oh yeah,
Netflix.
HBO Max.
HBO just did that.
HBO Max is that. Like
does HBO own DC? Is that or is like a parent company or something like that?
Well, it is because most DC movies are Warner Brothers films, and Warner
is HBO
owned.
I didn't know that. Wait, HBO owns Warner Brothers or Warner Brothers?
I don't know which one it is, but they're all together. It's all part of the Warner family.
Dude, when I drove to LA, I saw the Warner Brothers offices and stuff. Oh, it's fantastic, man.
Yeah. That's they got some sweet lots. I've always loved their symbol, the WB.
Yeah, and it's like refreshing seeing that on a building where usually you just see like text, like US Bank
or a cool logo.
Something like just so plain, and then you see like the Warner Brothers symbol, and it's like so iconic.
It is, it is.
Yeah, so.
Yeah. I mean, I remember first seeing that thing, I think on Carmelo Anthony has a Warner Brothers tattoo. And I remember first it's like, isn't that a movie symbol? I was like, I remember being a little kid. But yeah, no, it's a great symbol. So what do you got today, Ryan?
Well, I got a few things.
Okay.
The first thing that I want to talk
wherever
about is
feels most natural.
And this is,
No, he didn't segue, but
yeah, it's a tough subject. It's a tough subject. And
is it about George Floyd?
That's exactly what it's about.
Yeah, I just want to start by rest in peace to George Floyd.
Rest in peace, George Floyd. You
know how we talk about, I was thinking about this yesterday, Ryan. You know how we talk about how, you and me being atheists. It's moments like these where like I hope heaven's real. For someone like George Floyd. Just because it's I mean, he got killed over a fraudulent check or a bounce check, that basically a finesse. He
was trying to finesse the system.
He was trying to finesse it. I mean,
but listen,
But imagine getting killed for failing at a finesse, a finesse. There's nothing.
The equivalence. It's on the equivalence of like us telling that story about us drinking at that pool.
Yeah, exactly.
If anything, our situation might even be worse than him trying to fraudulent
that's what I thought,
bucks or whatever.
Bro, that's what I thought. I was thinking about it. I was like, man, I mean, we've done worse things, and
the majority of people have, and that's what's so sad about it.
I've dealt with cops multiple times, and so it's just one of those things where it's
just a sad situation, and people are extremely mad, myself included, and rightfully so.
Yeah.
Because when you see the footage, and I know it's tough to watch. Like Amanda was watching it, and she's like, I can't watch this anymore, And I really don't. I have a stomach for stuff like that, so I watched the full 8 minutes or whatever. And it's like literally for 5 minutes, this police officer, is kneeing. I'm sure everyone's seen it by now.
Oh, yeah.
Because this is going to be posted a week in the future. We're recording on Wednesday the 27th, as Frank said. Wednesday the 27th. and he's got his knee on his neck for like 5 minutes. And it's like, bro, I don't really know the anatomy and physiology of a human being, but you can't do that. And I know for a fact from watching Cops that most cops don't actually put the knee right on the neck. They put it on their upper back.
The back, yeah.
Right next to your neck. So this is all you can do, you know?
You're not cutting any breathing off.
He's on like the side back of his neck on the concrete. And it's like, it's just so frustrating to me. It's like, I feel like, and I was thinking about it today, and it's like when you're in a position of power, right?
Yeah.
And this is going to sound so stupid, but when I was president in the fraternity, right, I was in a position of power.
The most powerful in the fraternity.
The most powerful in the fraternity. But I had situations where it felt like, okay, it's me versus them. You know, it's like, okay, how do I get them to do
versus the fraternity?
The fraternity as a whole, or us, meaning like the board, the executive board, versus them, right? Because like you have things that you want to do, and you have things that you know is going to make the fraternity better, and then you have people that aren't going to do those things, right? Yeah. And it's weird relating it to this situation, but when you're in a position of power, you constantly, like all good leaders constantly are taking yourself out of that position and thinking about, okay, I'm not the only person here. I'm not the only person that's, going to be affected by this. And also you have to have a sense of basic humanity. And it's like, I look at that guy who's doing that to George Floyd, and I'm thinking to myself, like, this guy has lost his humanity. He has lost it because he's sitting there not realizing what he's doing to that person, And it's just frustrating because when you're in a position of power, and I'm repeating myself, but when you're in a position of power, you constantly need to remind yourself of the fact that you are in power and you cannot get used to that. Like you go in day to day as a police officer and you're thinking to yourself, okay, like, it's another day of catching criminals or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And you may see like 20 George Floyds a day where they're doing, petty crimes or whatever. And you just get in this mindset where you're like, okay, it's us versus them. It's me versus them. And then boom, as soon as you stop reminding yourself that you're not above them in reality, you've lost your sense of humanity. And I believe that man, although I don't know him and like no one's heard from him from what I've heard, he lost his sense of humanity. And honestly, Minneapolis mayor said he was being arrested,
or he's just racist.
I agree with it. One or the other.
Yeah. But either way, it's the same thing. Lack of humanity either way. But it's.
Could you see?
But I get what you're saying about the whole thing with.
Whoa.
When you're in a position of power, you have to remember what it's like not to have that power. You know what I mean? And and I think that's important because I think you take any normal, nice, everyday citizen who isn't law enforcement. And if you just took them and just plucked them from their reality and then you threw them into the current reality of that arrest that was failed to be completed correctly, and you tell them, hey, you gotta arrest this guy for fraudulent checks. I mean, if I'm thrown into that situation, I'm not the first thing that pops into my head isn't thinking, okay, how do I defend myself? It's like, okay, I'm not taking in some guy who's, murdered 30 people or whatever, or has robbed 10 banks with a gun. I'm taking in a guy who failed at a finesse,
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
I've tried to finesse so many times, and I've also messed up at finesse. But it's he's just trying to cheat the system. But it's like, it's one of those things where it's hear
a petty
like,
crime.
it's a petty crime.
Nothing.
Oh, I have to go deal with a petty
it's
criminal.
It's something, but it's not.
It's like, okay, yeah, give me a badge. Give me a badge that says I can tell you
the police officer
that you're in trouble.
Right.
Give me a badge, and then let me go there and say, hey, buddy, you're in trouble.
Hey, dude, don't do that.
Yeah, you're
Come
in
here,
trouble.
I'm going to put you in handcuffs.
Exactly.
And if he does resist a little bit, you
funny. You don't even need to put him in handcuffs in reality. You could just say, hey, man, we got to go down to the station. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I don't know. There's just...
I mean, I'm not going to...
But it's
I don't know
like,
how police officers are trained and stuff.
Yeah, but you think about there's 4 officers who are handling
like
him.
No one's like, dude, like just lift your knee up, like just let him breathe,
or
like,
just let's put him in the car. There's 4 of us.
Or just you don't have to throw him on the ground, like
you don't. I mean, you can. Okay,
he was fine. Like this guy was fine. Like I watched the full 8 minutes. He was at like the bank or whatever that was. They go to arrest him. The video starts and he's the one that I saw. He was in handcuffs.
He's
already.
See, exactly. He's
and
already in the cuffs.
And then they go around the car, and I'm not sure what happened to that point. Whether they just put him on the ground or he might have resisted a little bit and they threw him on the ground. Whatever it was. Then he proceeds to just like jab his knee in the back of his neck, and you got even bystanders, bro. You got like 6 or 7 bystanders.
Yeah.
One of them's like, "Hey, I'm like." This EMT, or she says something like that.
Oh,
she's
she
like,
does. She's
the
like,
fact that you're not checking this guy's pulse right now is a problem. It's so frustrating, man. It's so frustrating.
Yeah, I mean, if you have him cuffed already, and just put him in the car.
Exactly.
Like it's like
I don't get it.
Do you
what
know
was
how
the
many
situation?
Do you know how many criminals have been? I mean, there's 4 cops. There's 4 grown men. They can handle another grown man and put him into a car. They can put it and just close the door. Put him in the car. Close the door. I mean, they have those cop cars are built to have people detained in the back seat.
Yeah.
To where you can put them in there, close the door, and then you don't have to worry about them. Yeah. I mean, you never have to like. It's just they're. Oh my God! I mean, I don't. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
I can't.
We can't really say much,
I don't know what to do, and it's like you have these.
Well, we're doing it, I think. We just got to talk about it. You got to keep talking about it. Well,
we're doing something now, and the people in Minneapolis
are doing more.
Are going.
Well, they're the ones that are going to be.
They're going off, and they should be going off.
The mayor's making moves, which is good. He arrested that guy, or he said that guy should be arrested, because obviously he's not in charge. But
yeah, that guy honestly should go to prison for life, if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah,
because I mean it's straight up murder. It's like
whatever
it's straight up murder.
Whatever
it's nothing else.
The sentence is for like neglect. Like you're neglecting like someone and they die.
Yeah.
You child neglect. You put them in like a room or something like that.
I mean, it's not even neglect
thing.
though. Like he's
you're
literally
neglecting.
killing. He's like literally. Yeah, but he himself is like.
You're right. You're right. It is. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, it'd be one thing if it was like. I don't know. They. Fucking. He's it's because of he's doing the actual killing. You know, it's not like something like he didn't put him in a position that got him murdered or got him killed. He actually did the killing. So to me, I mean, I get what you're saying about neglecting, but neglecting is more so like you give a child the keys to a car and you let him drive and crash and stuff.
Yeah, and
that's kind of neglect. But I mean, he was like straight up just chose to like kill the guy. I mean,
it wasn't even like. I mean, I'm just gonna keep explaining the situation, but it wasn't even like it wasn't even like a minute or something where like his neck like accidentally like kinked or something like that. Like it was a continuous push,
Oh yeah,
continuous like I don't give a shit.
No, he didn't. Yeah, he was just. I mean, I mean, you see the pictures that have been going around social media,
and it's just like the guy's face, and it's like,
but you just see the position he's in, and like,
you can't explain it. Like even,
but you imagine
even if he was like doing all the things that he was not supposed to be doing, resisting arrest, like calling them names, whatever,
it's just
saying fuck them. You're a police officer. Like you're supposed to be upholding the law, and not only that, but like as a police officer, like you're supposed to be bigger. Then you're just supposed to be models for society, I guess, I should say.
Yeah.
And it's like we've just lost that, I think. I think we've lost it. I don't know, man.
Well, the biggest here oh, yeah. You know what I think a problem is, or not a problem actually. The opposite of a problem. What I think will allow to create change is the power of cell phones and the internet, and that there have always been evil cops, racist cops,
doing
unjust things and killing killing black men and just killing, people of color and just being extra, awful to them. But now that we have these cell phone videos, it feels like it happens more, it's just like we're the whole world is becoming aware of it, the whole world is, and I think that I mean, you look at the positives of the internet and just the positives of everybody having a camera in their pocket, and the positive of it is exposing the true evils of our society, and that racism is still quite alive in law enforcement, and there's a reason why there's movements like Black Lives Matter, because it's a reality where you have these white school shooters or just active shooters or whatever being placed under arrest, handcuffed, and then you have guys finessing checks and selling cigarettes who are getting literally murdered on the street.
Treated like shit.
Like just killed on the street.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh,
jeez, man.
So it's, it's just.
This is like, it's so frustrating to me, like, I'm very passionate about like this homeless situation, and like, I'm sure people know that by now. And stuff like this too. It's like, it's just heartbreaking because like, I love this country, and like, I'm so proud to be an American. And I just feel like we have so many problems that a lot of people are neglecting, or we're not focusing on, or people just find ways around it, or they are in power and they just say, hey, whatever, brush under the rug. Or there's just so many things that we need to fix as a nation. And like, I don't mean to go off topic, but it's just so heartbreaking to me, And I'm a proud American, and like, this should not be happening in our nation. Like, it's 2020.
Yeah. Yeah. And it also sucks because right now we have a president who, I mean, I don't care if you support him or not, but I feel as if you could at least agree on the fact that I'm talking about just the world right now, everybody who supports Trump or doesn't support Trump. I think we can agree that, I don't know, to me, he doesn't seem like the kind of leader who is capable of just kind of lifting us up in like when shit gets like when shit gets as bad and as obviously bad as the George Floyd incident is, just and the buildup of everything leading up to him, all the other lives we've lost that we shouldn't have lost. I just think we need a president who can be taken seriously, and like that everybody, a lot of people have seen Independence Day. Independence Day has a great president speech where he inspires everybody. Yeah, he says, today is the day we get our independence from the aliens. But my point is, I just don't think it sucks to have a president like Trump when shit is so shitty in general, because it's like I get you. We want like. We want a president who's like, because presidents are always saying shit like to the public that isn't really specific, but it's different when it's from Trump, because it feels like it's all a joke because it's him. It's just it's weird. It's like he can never exactly. He's a celebrity, and he's famous for being kind of a fool, and being sort of an asshole. But I mean, so he has this comedic value to him that is just kind of cemented in who he is. Yeah. So it's really hard to get any sort of uplifting inspiration from him. I mean that. Yeah. I mean, in times like these, you're completely right. Yeah. I mean, not even just this George Floyd situation, like coronavirus. Yeah, coronavirus. Like, bro, people. I mean, everything. People are not behind the president. We have had multiple bugs everywhere. Yeah, there are a lot of bugs in here. Multiple shootings of since Donald Trump has been president, and I mean, it just a lot, actually. Yeah, exactly, and it feels like, I don't know, he's just never been that guy who's like, and lift us up. I mean, sure, he's saying the same words that other presidents have said during tragedies, but it's different coming from him.
He tweets it.
Yeah, I mean, but it's different coming from him just because he's like, he's got this celebrity status that's cemented in our minds of being, funny and being for us to laugh at. If we had a president, someone like The Rock or something, now that's a celebrity, or like even Ronald Reagan, who was a celebrity who became president. You have these. There's all the different kinds of celebrities, and we have celebrities out there who we do look at in times of like, who we can look at as like a leader, or we can believe in like they mean the uplifting things they're saying.
Yeah, for sure.
They have different. Yeah, it'd be like if Snooki was president.
Right.
Like we don't look at Snooki as like an inspiration.
No.
Like lift me up. We look at her as entertainment. Like let's laugh at her and with her because she's funny.
I get you. And
it's the same thing with Trump.
Yeah, and this is also one of the things I want to talk about. But before we sort of transition, rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace to George Floyd for sure.
Big time.
And everybody else we've lost to
police brutality
and just
it's ridiculous. It is a problem, and as much as we can try and do, like, just keep talking about it, and don't let people like, George Floyd get forgotten.
Exactly.
Stuff like this should be imprinted in our minds as, situations that we go back on. And there's probably plenty that happens, throughout the year that isn't recorded. And that is also a reality that we have to face.
Yeah.
But since we're talking about Trump, I want to talk about another thing. And since we're talking about kind of how he is not really someone we can count on in situations like these or
look up to.
He's not really someone that the whole nation can rally behind.
Yeah.
And it's not because of the media, which is a lot of people think it is.
Okay.
It is his personality. And it's his personality that people can't stand behind him, and it's also his personality that people do stand behind him,
It's both. It's both.
People really like that other people hate Trump.
Yes.
Like, people
love a villain. I mean, I love my villains too,
but
I don't love my villains as president. I mean, I'm not trying to call Trump a villain or anything, but I'm just saying, I love my Tom Brady's. I love Michael Jordan's, okay? I love my guys who piss off more than they, get love in them because they're so good at whatever they're doing to piss people off.
Trump's good at rallying people up, man.
Yeah, and Trump is a good example of that.
People,
I get why people like him because he doesn't give a fuck.
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't give a fuck. And he kind of has that attitude that I jokingly like to have, and that I'm the expert in everything and that I know everything and that what I just said is correct.
Yeah.
And even if you say it's not and correct me for what I just said, I will somehow find some stupid fucking way to say that what I just said is actually still correct.
Well, throw back to the tangerine is bigger than an orange.
Exactly. It's... Yes,
I'm never gonna let you live that down. I get you. You're nothing like Trump, but I do get you what you're saying.
We all kind of have that in us.
I think everyone has it.
I know. Don't tell me the right answer because I already know the right answer.
He exemplifies that person.
Yeah.
And even when people challenge him, he's like, nope. Like, he started this. Like, the whole fake news thing never happened.
Until he started saying
like, you're fake news. Like, you're fake news. And he's like... And when he was asked about this, I don't know if you've been keeping up about the Obamagate stuff or whatever.
Oh, yeah, he's trying to...
How Obama's been spying on him.
Yeah, anyways, he's trying to blame everything on Obama.
A reporter was asking him, like, so what do you think about this Obamagate stuff? Like, what's your take on it? And, he answers it in the way that, like, he only knows how to. And it's like, oh, well, it's a really terrible thing for the American people. And, if they read the news, they'll be really upset about it, and everyone should read the news. And it's a terrible thing. It's a terrible thing. And the reporter's like, so what crime are you accusing him of exactly? He's like,
he's done a lot of bad things.
You know it. He's done a lot of bad things. And, the American people know it. They can read the news. They'll figure it out or something like that. And he's like, except for you. Don't read you. And it's just like, and dude, it's like crazy because that's the president of the United States. And like people dig that shit, man. People like that. They're like, yeah. Like, I like this guy because he doesn't take shit. He doesn't let people step over him. Like, even when he's fumbling on his feet. Like, even when reporters have him on his like back foot, and all they have to do is give him a little nudge. He's like, I don't know what he does, man. He flies over them or something.
No, he finds a way.
He just is so standoffish and so fuck you in your face that it does not matter because he's President Trump.
Oh yeah.
And this leads me into my point that I was gonna make.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. Hold on.
I think we want to start something here today, people.
Okay, let's get something
I'm going to make
started.
a statement here.
I hate bugs. I just want to make that statement.
Yeah.
I know they're necessary for the way the environment works, but they are really annoying.
They have something to do with the
Ryan.
ecosystem.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm going to make a statement here, Frank. Can we start this? Hashtag replace Joe Biden.
Hashtag replace.
I'm calling it right now. If Joe Biden
Ryan,
is up against...
Okay.
No.
Real on here, Ryan.
Hey.
No shot of that was succeeding.
I know, but I got to try because you know why?
Okay, hashtag replace Joe Biden.
Because
it starts here.
I'm calling it right now. Well, I'm not actually trying
Trump
to...
I know what you're going to say. Trump can get a second term because he's competing against someone like Joe Biden.
That's not what I'm saying.
Oh, that's not what you're saying?
Trump will.
Oh,
he
you're saying
will get his second term if he goes up against Joe Biden.
Everybody calm down. We don't
slaughter. He is going to destroy Joe Biden.
Can we talk about that whole Joe Biden thing with the "then you ain't black"?
Yeah, since we're on kind of that type of situation. He is just so far gone at this point, man.
Okay.
Are we looking at the camera now?
No, I mean I don't know. Sometimes I do that. I will say that when he said that, it didn't feel like an attempt to be cool. It didn't feel like a shot in the miss to be like cool or try to get black people to vote for him. It didn't feel like that.
No,
what
it
felt like an old man just losing it. You're
exactly right, Frank.
Just losing it. Like he's just
dude. He doesn't even know what he's saying.
Exactly.
Like he said that, and he's like he didn't know what he said. He doesn't know the magnitude.
Yeah, and
he doesn't understand what he said.
That was the best part because anybody who would have said that as like a let me attempt to be cool would have said it, and then as soon as they would have heard themselves say it, they would have been like, it would have made like some. He had no sort of discernible change in it.
You ain't black.
And then he was so
and he's like firm, and I'm like
even Charlemagne the God didn't even get hit by it at first. He was like he kept going on his question. I don't know if it sunk in and he ignored it and kept going, or if it was like something where he was so like because it might have been a shock. It felt like he was like what it felt like. It felt like just from watching the clip, it felt like Charlemagne was starting to ask a long form of a question. He started part of the question. Joe Biden bursts in with this comment about you ain't black, and then Charlemagne is kind of, and he just sort of finishes the question, and it just all felt so weird. But I mean, the next day he's immediately apologizing for it.
Yeah. Well, that's not. But here's the situation.
But yeah, he doesn't know what he's saying. He's really losing it.
Joe Biden.
He's old as he's senile.
Well,
is that the word for it? Is senile the word for it?
When probably that sounds right. He's just
it's gonna be a rough one on there.
He's in a serious mental decline, people. Serious mental decline.
Yeah.
And he hasn't even started his presidency. So if he starts his presidency and then is expected to do a bunch of stuff, like that dude should be getting as much sleep as possible right now. He should be drinking his protein shakes, his taking his vitamins. He needs to take care of himself. He can't be doing that. And you know what? His team knows it. I don't know what they're trying to do. I don't know who they're trying to... Who are you fooling? I mean, honestly, like...
Well, you're trying to win the presidency. That's what you're trying to do.
I don't understand
trying to get
how...
that bonus for getting your man the presidency.
I don't understand how people voted for Joe Biden. I don't get it. Yes, he has a ton of experience. I understand that. And that goes a long way. It goes a long way. But if you even watched a single Democratic debate, you know.
Oh, yeah.
You know this guy is not there. He can't do this. He can't go up against Trump. He's not the most electable. Yeah, he's got the experience, but if you hear him talk for 5 minutes, he's gone.
Yeah.
You've lost faith in him.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
The only guy I know who has been who is keeping up on all the debates and who really is active in politics. Like I'm talking like not only does he watch debates, but he watches like other people talk about. He's just all into it. Luis is very much into it, and he is right there with you in the fact where he was never.
I can't.
He was never Biden the whole time. He was and
never Biden. That's a good
never
one
Biden.
too.
And he was. I remember talking to him about like when he would always be like we would be playing video games together, and I'd be hearing him like he'd say something like. That's fucking stupid. And I'm like, wait, what's up, Luis? And he's like, I'm just watching the debate right now. And I'm like, okay. So, yeah.
I was part of the Yang Gang, man. I know it was a far shout, but I supported him, and I still do. You know, I think it would be for the better of, I'll just say the human race in general, if Joe Biden is not president.
Yeah, but dude,
it's just going to be this weird 4 years where nothing is happening.
It's either Joe Biden or Donald Trump.
No, it's not. They can take him out. That's why I'm saying replace Joe.
Ryan.
I understand.
I don't want
to
go ASMR or anything, but man, the two-party system is so fucking ingrained, my guy. Yes, it is, Ryan.
I'm not talking about taking another party or something like that. Like Yang running for the Green Party or something.
Well,
I'm talking about Joe saying, "Hey,
backing," but that's not gonna happen, dude.
Dude, if we get enough people behind it,
but not enough people are gonna.
Frank, I understand.
I know it sucks. I know it sucks, but it's either I know you know on
but
a
I
deep
still gotta voice
level,
my opinion.
I know you have to voice your opinion.
I still gotta voice it.
But you do know it's either Biden or Trump, right?
I understand.
Okay,
but I can't accept that. I understand it, but I can't accept it.
Sorry, Ryan. Oh no,
dude. I've never hated two candidates so much in my life, bro. I'm so frustrated over this situation, and I find myself.
It's two old white guys.
I find myself just ignoring everything. Like I just ignore it because I can't do it. Like I can't do it. And Joe Biden's been freaking his campaign's been all over my Instagram like, are you voting for Joe? And I was so tired of it that I actually did it and I said no. And they're still hitting me up.
Dude, fun. You know what I want to talk about still hitting up? Haven't been hit up for it in a little about over a month. But okay.
We're screwed, people. That's what I was about to, that's my ending of the situation. I'm saying we either replace Joe Biden or Donald Trump is getting.
Let's keep on to this. I'll just
second
my term. Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, it's
which. Guess what? Ryan, nobody was seeing 8 years ago or 4 years ago. Yeah,
but I mean, you know what's funny is before he got elected, people were.
I would honestly.
Nobody thought Trump was gonna be elected president.
No, but Hillary has a lot of Joe Biden in her, and actually, Joe Biden's worse than Hillary. I would rather vote for Hillary than Joe Biden, 100%.
Yeah, I mean,
Joe Biden is worse than Hillary.
Here's the way.
Hillary was like, she had like secrets that were. That would have put her in jail for years. No, I mean, that's what the claims were.
Well, yeah. I mean, apparently.
For her life. I mean.
Ryan, I want to make something clear right now in this podcast.
Are we looking at the camera? Is that what we're doing,
I look at the camera sometimes. Okay. You got to understand something. If we got it there, we might as well address it. You're right. But every president
has his secrets?
No. Has blood on their hands.
Yeah, probably. You can't get that high.
Oh, yeah.
You can't get that high.
I mean, you can't. I mean, if it's really the commander-in-chief. If it really is the commander-in-chief. Every president has done some shitty things. Every president has made some decisions that have killed innocent children of other enemies of ours. Everybody.
Little kids in Yemen.
Yeah, I mean, you try to think about Hillary's rotten, put her in jail. Obama killed called drone strikes too. You know, other presidents.
That's a good point.
Took us to war. You know, Harry S. Truman dropped atomic bombs. So it's like every president. It's just like when you get into a position where you're running the United States. And we are trying to be the number one superpower.
It's an impossible job.
It's we're gonna. It's gonna get blood on their hands.
Yeah, you're right. It is a lose-lose.
And this is why I always come back to the idea that I think. I just have always thought that someone with political experience should be president.
Because they know what they're getting into.
I mean, if you're playing the dirty game already, like can we keep playing it?
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, I get you. I'm frustrated.
Because being a celebrity is a different kind of dirty game. Being a celebrity is a kind of dirty game where everything is out in the open.
Yeah.
And it's why we have recordings of President Trump saying he's going to grab a woman by the pussy. Because...
Yeah. God, I don't know how he got elected.
I know. I mean, there's just so many things you can go into. But
it's locker room talk,
it's
bro.
All, exactly. It's all on the record because he was a celebrity.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So this is why sure. Is it fucked up to say I'd rather have someone who is better at lying as president? Yes, I would. Because in a moment like this, I'd rather have a better liar up there speaking words of encouragement than a guy I know who's full of shit up there speaking words of encouragement.
I get you. No, I completely agree. Here's the thing.
I know you're full of shit, man. I can't take anything you say.
I'm going to say two things. Joe Biden can't even lie, okay?
Because he's too old.
Because he can't talk. And I'm not trying to make fun of the guy. Like, I'm really not.
Yeah.
He's just not a good presidential candidate. And second of all, if Donald Trump said the things that Joe Biden was saying, there would be outrage, man. I'm talking outrage in this country.
I mean, if a lot of other people said the things Donald Trump said, there'd be outrage.
No. Joe Biden. If Donald Trump said the things Joe Biden has said, there would be outrage.
You're gonna have to clarify that a little bit more because
I'm saying that because Joe Biden is a Democrat, right? He's a liberal.
Yes.
So because he's part of the side, right, liberal side.
Yeah.
People don't get that upset about it. But if Trump said the things that Joe Biden has said in the past about his hairy legs and little girls tickling his hairy legs and
you did say that. Look that up.
If you don't vote for me, you're not black and stuff like that.
Yeah.
God, imagine if Donald Trump said that. Completely different public reaction. Completely different. As in, people are laughing at Joe Biden.
Yeah.
But they're not as mad as they would be if Trump said those things.
But and you know what? Here's what goes back to where you're like, how did the Democrats elect Joe Biden as their president?
Well,
because even before he was like the obvious, the one who was going to get the
nomination,
he was still saying the stuff like you're mentioning.
Oh, there was plenty of compilations, man.
There was so much shit of him clearly being an idiot.
He was gone from the beginning.
I mean, I hate to say idiot because he might become our president. I mean, Donald Trump's an idiot too. I mean, I'm an idiot too.
Well, you have to be an idiot to run for presidency. I firmly believe that. As in, like, you have to be stupid to actually put yourself in that situation. Like, I don't think I would ever run for presidency of the United States.
I do think being stupid and being an idiot are two different things, though. Because I think we're idiots because we've done very idiot things.
You're right.
But I don't think we're stupid.
No. You're right. You're right.
You know what I'm saying?
You're completely right. There is a distinction between stupidity and being an idiot.
And this is why I'm saying that Joe Biden and Donald Trump are idiots. Because
you're right.
I can't call them stupid because they have done way more in their lives than I've done. And sure, they're way older than me, but still, they've done way more than their lives. So I can't not call myself stupid and then call them stupid. So we're all idiots together is what I'm trying to say.
You nailed it.
Yeah.
All right.
What, you bringing up another topic that you?
Well, I'm looking at it because I completely forgot them. Do you have anything?
No, I feel like you have another thing though. I'm ready.
I do. This one, okay. So we're in the quarantine right now, right? Mm-hmm. And things are opening up, right? I mean, things are getting back to normal,
coming back.
And
saw some people in the store without masks today.
Yeah, masks are not allowed.
Respect.
Well.
Some places are requiring them still. Some aren't.
It's up to the location.
Yeah, up to the location.
I mean,
at
least Riverside.
It makes sense to me.
So, was that a joke or?
No, it does. No, it makes honestly. No, it does.
And we're talking about the presidency. You know, I'm trying to start the hashtag replace Biden.
Yeah, I mean, hell, if the Snyder Cut is a thing.
It'd be so nice, dude. What can happen, man? If Joe Biden was just I'm stepping out, everyone.
James Gunn got rehired to do Guardians 3, and the Snyder Cut is coming out next year. So I guess it's not that crazy to get, replace Joe Biden trending. I mean, I don't know.
Frank is feeling the camera today, bro. You look good, man.
Thank you, Ryan.
Is that why you're?
No, I just feel like addressing it today.
All right, so, so we're in quarantine. Shit's been going down. Although places are opening, voting is an issue, right?
Yeah, because I think California is doing all mail-in ballots.
Well, that may be confirmed.
Yeah.
However, the entire nation, I don't know, right?
Yeah, no, I think some places still want to do the in-person.
What do you think about
I've always done the mail.
Have you?
I do the mail ones.
Oh, I don't.
I get mine in the mail.
I either fill it out and place it somewhere, or I go to a place.
Oh yeah,
I've done it twice.
Oh, I'm all about the have it sent to me. I'll fill it out and then I'll drop it off.
So we can quick fire this one. So you think it's a good idea?
The whole send the mail to the house. I mean, I do in terms of, coronavirus going on. I mean, if
right,
we
well,
already
that's the point.
We already had a system implemented for not going out of your house to vote. Not going to a public place with a bunch of other people to vote. We already had a system implemented for that. So why not just make that massive when we have a thing where we're trying to avoid gathering people? Why not just use the technique? Yeah. I mean, it's just like why we've been able to continue school,
Yeah.
Like we already did online classes were already a thing.
Classes,
that was already a thing that existed.
Oh, dude, so I got to tell you this.
Just use the thing that exists and works for the current state.
I completely agree. And honestly, I think your explanation is perfect. Like, it's already in place. Like, why not
use it? Yeah. And honestly, I love it. Because it's
a great option.
I'm a
right?
lazy.
It's easy.
I'm a lazy motherfucker. I don't want to want to go somewhere to vote.
And it doesn't cost money to send it back. So.
Yeah, exactly. Like, they give you all this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a great idea too. I mean, I don't want to be in a queue that's a mile long because everyone's 6 feet apart. You know?
Exactly. Yeah. You're just waiting in a fat line of cars.
I just called it a queue, bro. What the fuck?
A queue is actually
no, I know it's the correct term.
More for. I mean, you usually hear queue more like when you're online waiting. Usually, that's
right. Also, British people called lines queues. Fun fact.
I didn't know that.
Oh shit! I had something.
You were talking about the quarantine, and you were talking about.
I was going to tell you.
Point you wanted to, yeah.
So my mom's doing summer school, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And obviously, I mean, she's a high school teacher, right? She's a high school teacher, and
yeah.
And so, there's different. It's different than college, right? College is like super easy online,
Yeah, college.
In my opinion, it's easy online because, you have these companies that will literally, you'll have a contract with the school and it'd be like Blackboard or iLearn for San Francisco.
You already have
you can literally do it all online.
Yeah.
Because online classes are a lot more popular in college.
I'm finishing college online.
Yeah, exactly. So, but with high school and elementary and even middle school, that's going to be hard. It's going to be completely different. And
I don't mean to take
actually.
I think it's like pointless.
Right, exactly. Why even do it? I don't understand.
No.
You're gonna
the whole fun of that about like
you're gonna. That's
like the being around your fellow students and like growing up.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, the whole point is learning, but you're right.
Yeah. You don't learn.
But for the kids, that's what it's about, right?
Yeah.
And your point's gonna be validated with this. So my mom said that there's only gonna have to be 30 minutes a day with like visual contact with the student. So 30 minutes a day, you're like instructing your class online.
30 minutes,
bro. 30 minutes for summer school, and like I don't know if you did summer school in high school.
I did online. I did an online math class. Remember, I failed Orbit's honors pre-cal, and I had to do a semester of summer. Remember, I couldn't.
I do remember.
I did the Finazzo dance studio with you instead of going to Tahoe because I had gotten in trouble with the whole F and I had to do the summer math
and you were
class.
here instead of going to Tahoe.
I was here instead, And
then I couldn't go because I had
And then we ended up going with Urs later in the summer.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, how long were your classes, though? It was like 4 or 5 hours, right? Same class? With like breaks?
It was online.
Oh, you did online?
I did online. Dude, do you... Okay.
How long was it, though?
Bro, do you... Okay, I don't even... Okay. Give away... Speaking... the fucking ultimate...
You just got so excited,
I got so excited
bro.
because the way I finessed this online math class was ridiculous. I have this online math class. I have all...
Calling upon
Jesus. I have all these fucking units and sections to get through in my math class. Sam did it all. Like, I can't...
I remember hanging out with you guys because I remember being like, "Yo, what's up?"
Around?
And Sam's like, "Come over."
I'm just doing Frank's math.
And I texted you guys like, "Yo, what's going on? Like, let's kick it." Sam's like, "I'm doing Frank's homework." I'm like, "I don't care. Like, I'm coming over." And it's literally like me on my computer just chilling, like watching YouTube, and like Frank sitting there, like
next to Sam,
trying to be like nice about it.
Yeah,
and, like,
trying to be like, "Oh, I'm kind of learning."
And Sam's like on his computer, like
he's just doing he's just nailing every. Dude,
going at it.
Okay, Ryan, when it came down to it, I had to do the final in person. The final was like in person, like on a computer.
But didn't you have a good enough grade to where you could get like an F or something?
Bro, I failed the final 4 times.
I remember.
I remember I failed that motherfucker.
I remember
4 times.
that.
And after the 4th fail,
he just said,
my teacher, no, it was a she. She was just like, "Get over here. I'll do the last few questions to get you a passing grade." And
Thank God for teachers.
She goes over the questions with me that when I needed to get right to get a passing score. She does them right with me.
This was calculus? Pre-cal?
It was pre-cal, yeah. It was, yeah. And she's like, she does them right with me. She's like, "All right, you get it?" And I'm like, "Oh, yeah." And then she puts like the right answer on the test and corrects it. And then she changes it and puts the passing, like, honestly, I needed like...
She gives you like the minimum.
I needed like a minimum. I think I needed a 60% on the final in order to like get a passing grade overall in the class.
Yeah.
And I kept hitting 55. Like, I couldn't get past 55%. And
I remember,
after 4 attempts,
Sam was shitting on you, dude.
And like the entire span of the final hours that we had to do it. By the end of it, and she passes me. She gives me the 60%, and then she puts it in the grade book, and I'm like at an 88% or something in the class because Sam has fucking nailed everything. And she's looking at the final grade, and she's like, 88%. You know, you've gotten like 100% on everything else. You know, I'm just gonna bump you up to an A. And she gave me an A. Thank you.
Yeah.
I had to for the record, the entire time I kept failing these tests and retaking them, I was sweating balls. Like, I was like, "Oh, I'm fucked. I can't."
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, "Oh,
well,
God."
I mean, it's weird when you ace the homework and then like bomb every test, dude.
And then
that's why
she just gives it to me. I'm like, "Okay, I got an A in the class." I was honestly, that's one of the happiest moments of my life. Like, I still remember walking out of Arlington, and I had to change. I had to change locations. That's how many times I failed it. Like, that's how bad I was doing. Like, we started taking it at North, and I did so shitty that the location got moved to Arlington.
Yeah. That's why, like, honestly, teachers are so amazing because
they are. Shouts out her.
Shouts out her. They're so nice. But also, it's like they're naive at the same time.
Okay,
it's
Ryan,
like
you'll know who I'm talking about. It was the math teacher who lost like 300 pounds.
I honestly don't know.
But do you remember that math teacher?
No, I don't. Sorry, I wasn't in the smart classes.
Anybody else? From our school
you probably should have been in my classes, buddy.
I was in. We took Finwall at the same time because remember I failed on pre-cal.
Right.
And then I came into Finwall.
But you weren't in my class.
I wasn't in your class, but we were taking it at the same time.
That would have been fun.
We were also taking on Spanish 3 honors together at the same time.
That's right.
Yeah.
How did you do in that class? That was the only class I got a D in college for.
I think I got 2 Bs. I think I got a B for both semesters. A B for both semesters.
Were we in trimesters?
Might have gotten a C.
We were in trimesters.
Dude, I'm pretty sure we were semesters in high school.
Oh, you're probably right.
It was 4 quarters, 2 semesters.
Yeah, you're right. You're
Remember?
right.
And the quarter didn't go on our transcript. It was the semester that did.
Right, but it was the average of the 2.
It was the average of the 2. Yeah. For some classes, not all classes.
Yeah.
Yeah, good times.
But for your summer class, back to our point.
Uh-huh.
How long were you in class for? Like physically, online in class. Instruction. What were the lectures? Nothing.
Oh, nothing. It was just a bunch of work online. Like it was just a bunch of do this
assignment.
Wow.
Okay,
click through this. But with college, it's different. With college, it's different because we're logging into.
No, but I was saying that's like ridiculous how they were doing 30-minute sessions a day only. And like for college, it's like 2-3 hours for summer courses because it's like expedited.
And that speaks to the fact that like when I was taking this online course, it wasn't like obviously. This wasn't a thing. So online classes weren't curated to be like replacements for in-person classes. Like they were just online classes. So all I would have was I just have this section of assignments and I had to do it by this date.
Right.
I still even remember because Sam was in Tahoe when my class started. So I had these assignments building up and I was like, I'm not doing them. And then my teacher calls halfway through the summer session, and she's like, Frank hasn't done anything. And the first half of assignments are due like in 2 days.
But she made him do it like the end of the semester.
And I remember there was a huge fight about that with my parents. Like, oh, I got chewed out for that one. And I remember in the back of my head, I was thinking the whole time, like, I have to act right now like I'm super upset and like, oh my God, I know I haven't done them. I'll do them. I'll get to them. But in the back of my head, I was like, because Sam's not home yet. Like I was just like, chill. Like Sam's not back yet. Like,
relax, guys. Like, I got it.
I got this. Okay.
By I got it. I mean, I got a really good friend.
It was like the hitman was coming. I'm like, the guy's coming to take care of business right now, you know?
Yeah. For those of you that don't know, Sam was one of our best friends, and he is
and for the record, he has never gotten anything other than an A as a grade.
That's impressive. It's very impressive.
And I got to look at the camera for that one because that one's true. He's never just imagine you think about your first day of school and your first year of school, and then think about your last first day of school and your last year of school. And then think about all the grades you had, and imagine if every single one of them was an A.
Sam's the type of guy to retire and go into academics, you know?
Yeah, like to do academics for fun.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like, oh, I got 5 hours to kill. I'll do 5 hours of math.
He's like, I'm going to retire, but I'm really going to do part-time at a university.
But I'm really going to invent a rocket.
And he's honestly a genius. He's the type of guy that will actually learn the first time it's taught to him.
Yes.
And he'll remember that shit for years.
Like if you sat him down in a classroom and you taught him a huge lecture on something he didn't know anything about, and it was just you and him. You and him and an expert. He'd be an expert at the end.
Dude, I remember I was telling him, because I didn't do calculus until college.
Yeah.
And he did calculus 2 years before me.
Oh, yeah. He was doing it in high school.
And at junior year.
He was doing the highest level of it in high school.
He was doing calculus in junior year, I think.
Yeah.
And I was telling him, I was like, yeah, like it's, it's pretty tough, but like, I'm getting like good grades. And he's like, so what are you on? Like, and he's like naming off all the different types of topics that you learn. And I'm like, bro, I don't even know. Yep. Like, I can't even tell you what I'm learning right now. But it's insane that he would know, like, oh, this chapter you're going over this. Like he knows like the topic of the chapter, like derivatives, integrals, like stuff like that. And at the time, I had no idea what I was learning about. I was just like, I can do it. Like this looks familiar to me.
Yeah, he did the honors pre-cal sophomore year. He did the calculus AB junior year, and then the calculus BC senior year.
God, Jesus Christ, man. Dude, how's Jonathan Marilau doing? Do we know? He was like also.
Didn't he go to UCLA?
Yeah, I think so. But he was like also really smart with Sam.
Yeah, he was. I remember Sam would always
also,
get kind of mad about him.
Sam, fuck you. I beat you in chess one time, so. Yeah, I know. I'm pretty cool.
I can beat Sam in one-on-one on basketball anytime.
Not me, though.
I can beat Ryan, too.
Dude, don't even!
I can.
Okay, but I have beaten Frank one-on-one
Well, he's beat me with other teammates, and I had
No, that's not true.
Sam was one of the other teammates, so
we've one-on-one, and I have beaten you.
You know, we have. But yes. I remember it not being that real.
It wasn't a real game.
No, I'm kidding. Anytime you get beat one-on-one by someone, that person is allowed to.
I'm pretty good, though.
That W anytime they want. Yeah,
I'm pretty good for not playing.
Yeah, Ryan's a quick dribbler.
I do. I got the handles.
Yeah.
I'm very low center of gravity, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Got control.
But it's funny. I can only.
That's why I was good at soccer, too.
Imagine you dribbling the basketball, though, in like your former form. Like your former, smaller high school lazy Ryan. Like,
no, I didn't even play basketball in high school. Think like middle school, dude. Like,
I don't know, Ryan.
When we played.
Yeah. Yeah, and then we have our photo for our White Cloud Wednesday.
That was basketball camp or something like that, right?
No, we were on a team together.
Right.
That was Parks and Rec. That was the element. Remember Victoria Elementary?
That's when
we used to always have the teams. We would play at Bobby Bonds.
Yep.
And we would wear the T-shirt jerseys.
Yeah. No, I remember.
And it was all the teams were made up of Victoria students, and the Victoria parents were coaches and shit.
We would practice at. God damn it! Sorry, I don't know if you guys can hear that. Someone's yelling my name outside.
Someone is yelling Ryan's name. Like we're not in the middle of business right now.
And
we don't have business going on right now.
If you guys don't know, this podcast is all over the place, but if you guys don't know, I'm very particular about sound quality, which, by the way, if you are trying to start a podcast, is much harder than you think it is.
Yeah.
And so if like you have a hum in the background, like your mics will pick it up, and we've had a couple episodes like that.
Yeah.
And it frustrates the shit out of me.
We've even had times where our mics, like the cords are humming. We were trying to move it around and get rid of the hum. It's like
I don't know how it works, but if you put the cords close enough together, I don't know if it's like a hum that will happen, or the sound will like transfer. Dude, I don't know how it works, but I remember like reading about like, oh, keep them as far away as possible, or else you're gonna like get some hum or something like that. What are we at?
We are at 1 hour and 1 minute.
Okay, can we quick fire this last thing unless you guys have something?
No, you give it to me. What's up? What's up?
So before we started recording, we were setting up, and Amanda was here, and she brought up some drama. I actually wrote it down too because I wanted to talk about it.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not really in the know, but the call her daddy drama. Since fellow podcasters.
Yeah, I mean, actually,
what the fuck?
No, Ryan. I mean, you brought it up. I wasn't going to bring it up, but you brought it up.
What do I think? Here's what I think. Okay?
Yeah, you go ahead, because I know some details about it. And I got some.
Tell me the girls' names. Alex is the blondie.
And Sophia's the other one.
I was going to say Victoria. Okay.
Sophia.
Sophia's the other one. They had something good going. Like,
oh my God, they had something good
only
going,
listened to like 3 or 4 podcasts of theirs.
I didn't listen to them, but oh my God, they had something good. I mean, I knew about them. I knew about them because I'm a fan of Barstool, and I know about the other podcasts. Even the podcast in Barstool I don't listen to, I know about, because it's all one big happy family. But that's the thing, they weren't acting like they were part of the family, so they were off to a bad start right away from the beginning.
Here's my thing. I think it attests to how fame and money just gets to your head, you know, and it's like if we were to get picked up, I'm making a pact right now.
Oh, Ryan, I think we have a pretty level head on ourselves.
I know. I'm just saying. I'm making a pact right now. I'm doing everything
because literally
better of this podcast.
Getting any
and the listeners
getting any sort of money for doing this would be unbelievable.
We actually could. You know that we have a offer to do an ad for Anchor, which is our.
Get out of here.
Yeah, we do. We just have to record it, but I mean, we can.
Wait, can we put it in our episode? Does it
not on YouTube, but on the podcast platforms, and then we would.
But can we do the ad like during our episode? Can we like do the ad while we're recording?
No, I think we have to record a segment.
Okay, we have to record a separate segment. Okay, well, that's what I mean. But we can talk about this later. But I mean, either way, yeah, getting paid. It's just getting paid money to talk about. Well, just getting paid money to do a podcast is unbelievably fortunate and unbelievably. Something that you just don't want to, fucking throw back at the person who's offering you it to you, which is what the Sophia. I mean, technically both of them did that at first. Like they both. So basically, you have Alex and Sophia. Alex comes up with the podcast idea. Sophia's she's the friend who tags along and makes it happen. But they get this deal at Barstool. They're super popping, making money for Barstool. They think they deserve more money. Sophia, the brunette one who was the kind of the join-in who didn't actually start it, she gets his boyfriend who works for HBO. He works for the sports company, sports division of HBO, and he basically starts shopping.
You are in the know.
Oh, I'm in the know.
Holy shit.
He's shopping the Call Her Daddy podcast to other, people who will pay for them to have a podcast.
Basically telling Sophia, hey, you can get like $1 million.
Yeah, like you can get more money. Like you're so poppin' that you can ignore the fact that you signed. For the record, they signed a 3-year deal where Barstool owned the Call Her Daddy for 3 years, and they were about a year and a half into this deal, and then, you know, the suit man, Peter Nelson, the guy who works for HBO, who's, you know, dicking down Sophia, he starts telling Sophia, hey, you can shop this shit and get more money. And he's being a fucking idiot because he's ignoring the fact that they're halfway through a contract that's airtight. So he's like, yeah, shop it. Dave finds out about it because they're idiots. Dave's the guy who started Barstool and is president and who hired them, blah, 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 and, you know, runs the money. He understands the fact that he has his most popular podcast stabbing him in the back and trying to get off his platform, group. He plays platform, and he says, branding. Okay, I gotta fix this. He calls both Sophia and Alex over to his place in New York. He tells them, he says, hey guys, new deal. Get this. I know you want the IP. I know you want to own the Call Her Daddy podcast name, you know, to sell it to other platforms. Now, but I still want to make money off you. So here's the deal. And I know you think you deserve more. I'll give you both $500,000 to do
for 1 year.
To do one more year of podcasts for me. 1 more year, $500,000 each. And at the end of the year of doing podcasts for me, you will own the IP and the name Call Her Daddy and be able to shop it and do whatever you want with it. Now, Alex, the blonde one who started the podcast, the smarter one, she hears this and she says, holy shit, this is what we were stabbing Dave in the back for, except a little bit better.
Relax on tapping.
Yeah, except a little bit better. So take the deal. And she takes the deal. But then Sophia, the one who's getting, dating the Peter guy who works for HBO, she doesn't want to.
Peter's like the devil on the shoulder.
She doesn't want to make her boyfriend look bad. You know, she doesn't want to make him look like an idiot who was shopping around a podcast that wasn't available. So she's like, no, I'm not budging. So basically now you have Call Her Daddy continuing with the smarter half, Alex, who took the obvious deal.
Arguably more funny as well.
Yeah, I haven't listened. I don't know which one's better or not, but I mean, clearly Alex is better because she has a brain. And the podcast was all about women, you know, kind of taking that stance that men have, and that we can be vulgar and nasty, and you know, be like
they had a great thing going.
Run through women and be players, and they kind of took that and they were using it, which I dig, and they were talking about, you know, just like. Basically just playing dudes, you know, and like running through dick, which I dig, because guys run through pussy and oh, that's cool. Girls run through dick. That should be cool too. So I dug the whole idea, but it's ironic that you have half of the podcast collapsing and failing due to the advice of a male. So I'm just going to leave it there. And
that is ironic.
And just say, shouts out Dave. Love you, man.
Where do you think it's going to go? Where do you think... By the way, great rundown, Frank. I mean, I could have watched a 30-minute video, but that was perfect right there. Yeah. Where do you think it's going to go? Actually, more specific, do you think that they would hire another girl? Do you think Alex is going to have to bring someone on? Or do you think Alex is going to sort of take it from here by herself?
I think...
Or is it only going to be like a guest thing? What do you think?
I think literally...
Which, by the way, I can't believe you haven't seen an episode, dude.
I think literally...
How do you know all the drama?
I think literally any of the scenarios you just pitched
any of the above
are possible. Any can work. Yeah. And I'll tell you why. Women have the power when it comes to sex. They do. They're the dominant. I mean, I think they're the dominant sex when it comes to sex. And therefore, when you have a show about women talking about how they run through dudes and how they're players and how they run shit, you can get you can have her do it on her own. You can bring in another one of her friends. You can have guests. You can do so much stuff with it. You don't need Sophia, because the women are the dominant sex. So there are a million other different women who are killing it just as much as Sophia. And Sophia isn't killing it anymore because she let a dick keep her from a great business decision.
Yeah. Yeah.
So she needs to naturally step out, and either Alex can run it herself because she clearly has it together because she made the smart decision, or she can get another friend of hers because she probably has other hot friends, you know? Just saying. She can get another hot friend of hers to come on there and just start, and it's just back to square. We're just back to... And that's what's so sad about this whole Sophia thing, is there's not going to be a heartbeat missed, you know? There's not going to be a second missed of continuing this podcast.
Hopefully so, though. Because maybe from what I've heard,
there might be some delay, but I'm just
confirm,
saying you don't need Sophia. Like, she played her hand.
Does Sophia still have the offer?
I don't know, but
I'm willing to accept as a 4-time listener an apology.
Yeah.
And then back to square one.
Oh yeah, there's no reason why she can't just dump Peter.
You shouldn't have to dump him. Just apologize for it.
Yeah, doesn't have to dump him. But there's no reason why she can't just come back to the podcast.
That would make it so much sweeter if she did.
It would be cool if she dumped Peter and then came back to the podcast and then talked shit on him. That would be cool.
Maybe we should title this episode, Sophia, here's your advice.
Sophia, here's your advice.
Dump Peter.
Yeah, dump Peter.
I'm picturing Peter as the devil on the shoulder.
Yeah, dump Peter and then just come back to the podcast.
Come back to the podcast because you guys did have something really good going.
And then please tell me about what it's like to just be with a dude who has a jaw like that protruding and that's serious. No, but really though, I just want.
I haven't seen the guy. What does it look like?
Ryan. Oh, it's
You're
bad.
not talking to me right now.
Quagmire. Just think Quagmire.
I don't know who that is.
God damn it, Ryan. Family Guy.
Yeah, I know Family Guy.
The skinny guy with the dark hair who just is drowning in the women and who has the jaw that's just fat.
That's just out here.
Yeah, no, but that's what I'm saying is that's what you imagine. It's like the real life version of that. It's ridiculous.
Maybe it's based off him.
No.
I always wonder those weird offshout Family Guy, South Park characters. Not yesterday, but last episode we were talking about the Dr. Death guy, and you were like, "Oh, the Family Guy, doctor is kind of like him, where he kills everyone."
Yeah, he doesn't know what he's doing. Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, I wonder if it's based off him." I wonder if all these weird side single episode / multi-episode characters are based off of real people that.
Let's end on this. Go
ahead.
I like where this is going. From a screenwriter standpoint, someone who writes his own stories.
Yeah.
I think every fictional character
comes from
some sort of real inspiration, whether that be a real part of the person who's writing the character, or whether that be a real person that the character knows. And even if it's you're unaware of it, even if someone asks you, "Hey, how'd you come up with that character?" and you just say, "Oh, I just thought of it."
Just some.
There's something in the back of your head where you knew someone just like that,
or
similar
a mixture of 2 or 3 people,
exactly.
And you're like, "Holy shit, this is really funny."
Yeah, when I try to write characters, I try to just take different parts of me and then expand it, make it extreme. For example, me saying I'm kind of like Donald Trump in that sometimes I think I'm an expert on everything.
Yeah.
If you took that one specific character trait that you have, and then you just fucking expand it and make it the only character trait that person has.
You could have made up Donald Trump, is what you're saying.
Exactly. I could have been that person if I'm written that way. Yeah. So,
dude, I wonder. Oh man, I guarantee there's an episode with Donald Trump in it for South Park.
Yeah.
I gotta watch that.
Simpsons predicted the fact that Donald Trump would be president. I'm pretty sure.
Well, Simpsons has predicted a lot of stuff.
Yeah, they have. Okay. Shouts out to Simpsons, excuse me, Homer. I'm sorry. Okay, let's cheers on the end of the episode.
Yes, sir, brother. Cheers up.
Episode 21. We legal up in this bitch now.
21. I do that terribly. Oh.
We're good.
Bye, everyone.